Hello everyone, welcome to day 3rd of September Leetcode challenge. Although in India it's midnight now and it's 4th September, and apologies, I was extremely busy today. I took a half day for some personal work and then I had office, and after completing the office work I started looking at this question. And this question frankly sucks. Why I am saying this? Let's try and understand the question first. You will yourself get to know. The question says, in here we are given a 2D plane and trees are planted at various coordinates on that 2D plane. We need to cover this using a fence, and we need to tell the coordinates of all those trees that lie on that fence. We have to ignore those coordinates or trees that lie within the outer structure that will be formed. And it looks pretty easy to understand. However, it's extremely difficult to do. It's a mathematical problem, and in interview questions you generally don't ask too much of mathematical complex problems. However, there's just one company who is after this mathematics and geometry kind of structures. It's no other than Google. So if you go on lint free, similar to lintcode.com, there you will see that the question is tagged under Google. I'm attaching the link here, and this is a proxy website as lintcode is. It's lintfree.com, and I'm not promoting lintfree here, by the way. So let's go back to the question and let's try to understand it. Erect the fence, Leetcode 587, and let's try and understand the question by the same example that was specified. Here we are given a 2D plane and trees are planted at various coordinates. We need to tell coordinates of those trees that lie on the fence. So where will you place the fence? You will place the fence at these 5 coordinates, and we need to tell the coordinates of those trees that lie on the fence. So even before starting the actual code algorithm, let's talk about the properties of line. Here I have taken 3 coordinates A, B and C. I have created 2 line segments CB and BA. Let me just ask you guys, what is the slope of line CB? Slope of line CB would be given by CX minus CY minus BY divided by CX minus BX, because uh, from college days and 11th 12th days I remember this formula for calculating the slope between two coordinates. Similarly, the slope of line BA would be given by by minus ay divided by bx minus ax. And you can see that the slope of bc cb is greater than slope of ba. Slope of ba is this and slope of cb is this much. And using this we can comment that CB lies in clockwise direction with respect to BA, something on those lines. And when we compute it in the form of mathematical equation, something like this is formed: cy minus vy divided by cx minus bx minus by minus ay divided by bx minus ax. And since it involves division, so you can normalize the statement, and after normalizing this, uh, we get cx minus by into bx minus ax minus by minus ay into cx minus by. And if this product happens to be greater than 0, that means the line CB is in clockwise direction with respect to BA. Just remember this point. I'll tell you why it is important. And let's talk about the other case. Here I have taken 3 coordinates again, C, A and B. And if I ask you guys what is the slope of CA line with respect to a BA line, you will say that CA lies in anti-clockwise direction with respect to BA, because the slope of CA is higher than that of BA. So if you convert this into mathematical equation, you will get something like this: cy minus ay divided by cx minus ax minus by minus ay divided by bx minus ax. And when you normalize the statement, you get bx minus ax into cy minus ay minus by minus ax into cx minus ay. If this statement returns true, that means CA lies in anti-clockwise direction with respect to BA. Just remember these 2 points for now. Go back to the previous example, and here you will see that we are interested in calculating those coordinates that forms the outer convex shape. Had we taken any other shape that leads to a concave kind of structure, would have it would have costed us more fence. Hence, we should avoid those cases because the fence cost is pretty high. Therefore, we are interested in finding out the structure that is formed in convex in nature. So let's now move on to the properties of convex polygon. A convex polygon is divided into two parts, the upper part and the lower part. The upper part is known as the upper hull, the lower part is known as the lower hull. And the properties of all the line segments that lie in the upper part is exactly opposite to all the line segments that lie in the lower hull. Let's try and understand it by an example. Let's assume we have three coordinates, something like this: C, A, and B. So the slope of line CA with respect to the slope of line AB would be in anti-clockwise direction. When I say anti-clockwise, it will be something like this. Why I am saying this? Because the slope of line CA is lower than that of the slope of line AB, this one. Therefore, it lies in anti-clockwise direction with respect to CA. And let's take another point in the lower hull of the convex polygon. Let's assume this is one point E, this is D, and this is C. You can see that the angle of ED is this much and angle of CD is this much. Therefore, the angle of ED is greater than that of CD. It means that the line ED is in clockwise direction with respect to CD. So it's something like this. You can try this equation with any other possibility in the lower part of the convex polygon, and this possibility in the with all the coordinates with the upper part of the convex polygon. And we will use these properties to actually arrive at the solution. If we are iterating for all the coordinates that lie in the lower hull of the system, then whenever we see a slope that is getting formed in an anti-clockwise direction, we will ignore that particular edge and we will try to look for more possibilities out of the given set. For example, let's assume we have taken these 3 points. These 3 points were already part of our answer. You will see that CB is in clockwise direction with respect to AB, and we are iterating in the lower hull of the convex polygon. Then comes the parameter or coordinate D. You will see that CD and BC are in anti-clockwise direction. That means we have to ignore this coordinate C because there exists a better coordinate that will be D in this particular case. So if you pick up D instead of C, then the structure will be formed in a convex shape, and the line segment DB is in clockwise direction with respect to AB. We can say that. This is the core agenda of the convex hull problem. I'll talk about uh, the rest of the algorithm in the coding section. As a general practice, I have created a point class and I have assigned two attributes in it, one for storing the x coordinate, other one for storing the y coordinate. And I have created a list of points using the input data structure, which was an array of array. And this is pretty straightforward. I have created a new array for storing the result, and even before that I have checked if my point size happens to be 1, there is only single coordinate, I simply return the same input as my output because there is only one coordinate in the input array. Let's continue the process. I have sorted my points array, and the comparator that I have passed while sorting this array is with respect to the y coordinate, because I am interested in starting from that coordinate which is lowest among all the possible coordinates, and wherever the coordinates of 2 points is same with respect to their y coordinate, I choose the one which has lower x coordinate. I have created another hash set of array list of integers for removing the duplicate entries. I'll talk about it later on. And after that, I have initialized a stack of generic type point and named it hull. I have added two coordinates which will act as my reference point for the baseline, and I have used the points at the 0th index and the points or the entry at my first index after sorting has been done. So let's go and look at the logic, the core logic for forming the lower hull. So you start iterating from the second coordinate goes up till the last coordinate that is there in your input array. You extract the topmost element. If my hull is not empty, then I check using the three coordinates, the topmost point in my hull, the the topmost element that I popped out, and the new incoming element that I am taking into consideration. If the angle is formed is in anti-clockwise direction or counterclockwise direction, I simply remove the uh, topmost element in that hull. Otherwise, I go and add whatever I popped out in the previous state here, and I add that new entry into my stack. Then I go ahead and form the upper part of the convex polygon, and instead of manipulating with this core logic, I have started the iteration in the reverse direction, because when you are reversing in the reverse direction, clockwise becomes anti-clockwise and anti-clockwise becomes clockwise. So the core logic remains intact. You pull out the topmost element, you check what kind of angle is formed between the peakmost element of the hull, the topmost element, and new point into consideration. If that is not in the counterclockwise direction, you remove the topmost element from the hull, and again you push back the topmost element and the new point into consideration for the next iteration to happen. Once you have built both the hulls, the upper and the lower hull, what you are going to do, you'll remove duplicate entries from the stack. This is pretty straightforward. Here I am just deleting the duplicate entries, and once I have deleted those duplicate entries, I have stored the result in my res array, and once I have the result array, I typecast into integer two-dimensional array, and I have named that variable as ans. This is again pretty straightforward. Once I am through, let's talk about the other helper method that I have created, which checks whether the angle formed between A, B, and C points is in counterclockwise direction or not. we take the cross product as I told in the presentation. This is the same equation, and if this value happens to be lower than 0, I return -1. If this value happens to be greater than 0, I return +1. That means it's in counterclockwise direction. Otherwise, I return 0. That means it's a straight or flat line that simply signifies that it is linear in nature. Let's try this up. Accepted. And this brings me to the end of today's session. I know this is little difficult to digest, but don't worry. If you are not able to solve it, it's all right. There are highly less chance that it will be asked in the interviews. It's one of those corner cases when you have your bad day. I still hope that you understood most of it. If you did, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for viewing it. Have a great day ahead and stay tuned for more updates from Coding Decoded. We'll see you tomorrow with another fresh question. Till then, goodbye and good night.